And joining us now for a conversation is the Associate to the President of Community Engagement, Abiodun Essiet. Many thanks for joining us, ma'am.
Thank you for having me.
All right, like we saw in that report, some interventions in Plateau State. Now, Plateau is among states in Nigeria in the news because of insecurity, and that has lingered for many years now. Why do you think that has not been able to, reduce? Talking about the insecurity.
Okay, thank you so much. So Plateau State is a very peculiar state when it comes to insecurity challenges because Plateau State has suffered from historical grievance, historical mistrust that has fueled some of the crises, coupled with banditry, terrorists, and also criminal activities between even farmers and others, crisis, and a whole lot of root causes that has fueled the insecurity in Plateau State. So basically, Plateau suffered from, I've summarized the white paper reports from Plateau State from 2004 to date, and most of the root causes of this crisis have not actually been addressed fully by different levels of government involved. So, and that has really aggravated into historical mistrust between the different players, coupled with other ethno-religious crises in those areas, which is now
Great. You seem to understand the issues in Plateau State. Now you have set up a community-based peace structure.
Yes.
Tell us about this peace structure in 17 local government areas and what you intend to achieve.
Okay, so Plateau State happens to be the third state that we're setting up this peace structure. We've done the one for Kogi State and also the Benue State. So Plateau is the third state based on our finding that, we need to sustain community peace dialogue because everything that happens in insecurity happens in the community. And because of the diversity and peculiarities of some of our community, we decided to create a peace structure to strengthen community intelligence and also to continue deliberate dialogue because we believe when communities of diverse interests and groups continue to engage themselves, then we are in one step ahead, in addressing some of the insecurity in those regions. So for the 17 local governments, we have actually set up this peace structure that constitutes different diverse interests. We have representative of CAN, representative of GNI, representative of PDAN Group. PDAN Group is an indigenous group of Plateau State, representative of NCWS, representative of MACBAN, which are the Meiti Hala Group, representative of the AFAN, and also the youth group. We have carefully selected this group of people to be the baseline for the structures that we have set up across the 17 local governments. And, we've trained them on intelligence gathering, on information, and how to relate well with the security agency when there are issues. And we're doing this in collaboration with the state peace structure because that's the sustainability part of it for the state peace structures to work in line with the federal government in ensuring that the community peace structure that we have set up in 17 local governments are activated and be able to do exactly what they're meant to do. They'll also be doing work in terms of engaging in deliberate dialogue, identifying early warning and early response, and they'll also be part of the committee that will be working with different stakeholders when they notice any early warning or any crisis before it's aggravates into a bigger one.
All right, many thanks, Abiodun. That looks like a detailed structure there put in place in Plateau and the other states you mentioned. But speak to us about what it has been like so far. What has been the feedback from the participants of the structures? What is the feedback to government, and who do you relate to, or if you like, escalate the issues raised by the members of the structures?
Okay, thank you so much. I want to thank Mr. President also for creating this community engagement because it has drawn the federal government closer to the people at the grassroots level, and the people also feel carried along, feel the presence of federal government in their daily day-to-day activities. So for the community peace structure, they work directly also with our office in partnership with the state peace structure in reporting to us due time and exactly what is going on in their community. So we'll be going to each of those local governments to actually step down what has been trained at the federal level, at the state level. We'll be going down to each of those local governments to also train the local actors for them to understand what has been discussed at the state chapter, where we had all of them to come together. But now we'll be going around to each of those local governments to step down this training for them to understand the importance of this. peculiarly because of the nature of the crisis in those regions. Most of the crisis in Plateau State has been 70% reprisal attack and 90% on other bandits and other criminal activities. So we felt it's important for us, before any crisis gets out of hand, for a group of people who are committed in making sure that there is lasting peace in their community to work together with different stakeholders to making sure that crises are being identified or symptoms of disagreement are being identified as early as possible, and also reporting those to my office. So when crisis like that comes reported to my office, I escalate it to members of Federal Executive Council, who are the ministers in charge for insecurity. I really direct it with the Minister for Defense, who takes our reports as a priority because it's coming from the community and also from the presidency. So those reports are channeled to the Minister for Defense, who actually send out those reports to security agency for them to work on and address with immediate effect.
All right, many thanks, Abiodun. For want of time, I'd like you to just quickly tell us what specific interventions that you have actually escalated and what has been the actions taken so far.
Okay, thank you so much. So we've been able to manage some crises, specifically across the North Central region. Let me start by Nasarawa State. There was a community that a local chief was abducted at a particular time. We managed this crisis by reporting the security agency at the federal level, and the village head was rescued, and now a military checkpoint has been installed in that community, which is within the Akwanga local government. That has been evidence of some of our action, and this community is actually a Christian community in Nasarawa State. Now they can live peacefully. Everywhere is calm. There has been reduced kidnapping and also violence in that community. Also in the Plateau State, we've been able to manage crisis between different factions, between the Makba group and the Irigwe community, by making sure that concerns of both groups are addressed. There was a recent one where we had crops that were burnt. We actually escalated that to the security agency to identify the criminal involved in burning that. We identified that, and compensations was made because we don't want issues like that to get out of hand. So we'll be able to manage that, because as simple as that looks, if we didn't intervene on that, it could lead to a bigger event that that we may not be able to control. So managing crisis, responding early to community concerns has been our major priority, and making sure that Mr. President understands their concerns and is ready to work with them. And with my latest visit in Jos, we're able to meet some of the key players like Reverend Ezekiel him to share some of his concerns and agitation to Mr. President, and we're able to document those concerns and reassure him of Mr. President's support and committed in building a lasting peace in the North Central region and in Nigeria as a whole.
Many thanks, Abiodun Essiet, Associate to the President on Community Engagement. Many thanks for your time, and we hope that you sustain the efforts and also move to other states that are troubled at this time. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.